Gunshots at the Trump rally? Shut the fuck up. No. Where? Where? Give me a link now. Holy fuck. Dark Brandon? Dark Brandon? Wait, did they cut the audio? Is he shot?
Well, there you go, guys. Unbelievable information right now as we see President Trump being taken away from the podium there in Butler, Pennsylvania. We did hear some shots there. We don't know what it was that happened. You're looking at the same thing we're looking at right now. I was literally without the suit jacket, just watching the coverage. We heard the loud noises, and we are live right now on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
I told you, motherfuckers, this has the capacity to be the craziest race of all time.
Is very concerning at this point. Not sure, again, what happened there. We do know that people got towards the ground. We don't know any details. We're watching this live with you throughout this country and some around the world. The leader of the free world is right there.
He's not the president, dumbass. He's not the leader of the free world, a former leader of the free world.
Wait. MAGA means make anything. That's all we wanted. A place with. Thank you. Instead, I'm here with the White House. Not easy, because we have millions and millions that should. You know, we had the strongest border ever. I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have? You take my left comes right out of Border Patrol. Legal in the history of probably starts a couple.
Yo! What the fuck?
Moving to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Move. Go.
They cut the audio. Oh my God. They cut the audio. How are they not running? Brother, they are motherfucking hogs, okay? This is crazy. We don't know if it hit him. We don't know. Look, here, I'm going to replay it again.
You see, a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
First shot rings out. He grabs his fucking neck. You have the full screen version of the shot. Dude, what the fuck is going on? Do we think he got actually shot? I think he was bleeding when they picked him up. Trump bleeding, don't show on stream. Oh my God. Oh my God, he is bleeding. I think it nicked his ear. No, that's not like enough. That's not TOS. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude. All I'm going to say is this has happened before. And when they miss, landslide. Oh my God. Oh my God. You said this was the boring election cycle? No. I said this is the most boring election cycle, but it has the capacity to become almost overnight the most interesting election cycle. And this happened with Bolsonaro, Reagan. Oh, they shut it off? Oh, staged? No, I don't think it's, I mean, I think it's a little wild. Here's the full screen shooting.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. And if you want to really
I mean, he gets up, he puts his fist up. This isn't live, right? This is like they escorted him out already. We watched him get escorted out. But I think, dude, hogs are crazy. They just shot the former president.
Okay, you just saw there that
Hogs are so insane, bro. They shot the former president and they're doing a USA chant. Yo!
Chiron just
What is going on?
Screen here.
What the
But
fuck?
we have not had a confirmation on what that noise was, so we are going to continue to refer to it as popping noise.
Bro, I said light news. I didn't realize. Bro! God damn, America is a fucking spiritually
see something
broken.
that said, take a look at what happened.
Where is it? Oh, is the shooting. He's bleeding. He's fine. Here's a hog video. A Biden supporter just pulled out a gun and shot Donald Trump. First of all, we don't know anything about what happened, but this guy immediately goes, a Biden supporter pulled out a gun and shot Trump. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Reagan landslide. Oh, no. Reagan landslide incoming. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. First shot, Trump's hand moves directly to the side of his head. Oh, my God. Who else if not a Biden supporter? Dude, it could be a Biden supporter, but to say that it definitely is a Biden supporter is insane, okay? Like, to say with certainty, what do you mean, who else? This motherfucker was the president, dog. Why do you think former presidents get lifetime Secret Service? For this specific reason. What are you talking about? American presidents, for those of you who don't know, get lifetime Secret Service. There's a reason why he has Secret Service right now. Not every person that's like running for president until they become presidential candidates, presidential nominees, actually get full-blown Secret Service. Secret Service. Former American presidents do. The reason for why is because when you're the president of the United States of America for however many years, you are in control of a lot of shit. You make a lot of enemies. There's a new angle. No, this is the angle that we saw originally.
Like gunshots ring out.
Dude. There are weeks where nothing happens, but decades where there are decades where nothing happens, and then there are weeks where decades happen.
Most people ducking down. The press that were behind the risers, press that were at our media tables, ducking down under the tables as we weren't sure what was going on. Our crew who was up on the stage captured some of that video that you showed, the former president getting protected by his Secret Service. They covered him. He looked to have some blood on his face. It looked like his ear was bloody. A lot of chaos and confusion. No one was sure where the gunshots that sounded like gunshots were coming from. The former president, as we know, is now inside the motorcade. He may at this point be off-site. The folks here are now evacuating. A lot of confusion, some anger, people yelling at the press here, not sure what to make of what has just
happened. The press brought a blicky
was
out.
Just standing on the stage. She was talking about immigration under President Biden when all of this erupted into chaos. Again, just moments into his appearance here in Butler, Pennsylvania. So far, we're safe. Our crew is safe. We have not seen anyone injured. We have not heard of anyone injured yet, but certainly unexpected, confusing, and we are still waiting to find out what exactly transpired here, Jose.
And Dasha, we want to go back to that video because, as you indeed state, it does seem as though what appears to sound like shots, a number of them did ring out, and the former president clutched his right ear. We saw him that after that he was taken towards that motorcade, and here, or just moments afterwards, you can see from what seems to be his ear, blood in his ear, and there's some blood on his cheeks, but he is conscious. He is with his fist raised in the air as there seems to be blood coming from his right ear. He was conscious the entire time, still is conscious in every single one of the frames of the video that we have here on NBC News as he is being taken into that SUV. There were also moments right after those apparent gunshots rang out where we were able to hear the officials. And let's just listen in together to this.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
I counted about 8 to 11 what seems to be gunshots, and you will be able to hear now as they're getting ready to transport the former president. And we see now some heavily armed special SWAT team members. But listen to what they say here. Shooter is down, is what one said.
Oh, dude, they got him. They got the shooter.
This was just moments ago in Pennsylvania. And we'll see the former president stand up with the help of a few people.
Let me get my shoes. Hold on in your head.
He says, let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Watch out.
Donald Trump still speaking as he raises his fist. And there you can see in the middle part of your screens what seems to be blood coming out from his right ear. Conscious, shaking and waving that fist as about 5 people help him down the stairs and towards that SUV. And I could hear about 8 to 10 or 11 what seems to be gunshots. Dasha.
Jose, as we stand here, there are a lot of people yelling at the press pen right now, a lot of anger from the people here. I'll tell you, just emotionally, there's been a roller coaster just over the last 10 minutes or so since this happened. It went from confusion, people not sure if what they were hearing was fireworks, but as those sounds continued, as you said, 8 to 11 or so consecutively, people realized this might be dangerous, this might be gunshots. People started to get down, to hide, to feel that fear, that adrenaline that, frankly, I felt as we were trying to make sense of the situation and make sure that our team here and our colleagues here.
You think they'll go for gun control after this?
Saw the former president in that video get up and raise his fist. We did hear cheers erupt from the crowd, people chanting USA, USA, and the former president was
okay. Never mind. They were chanting USA, USA. That probably not, right?
As this place is empty, littered with water bottles, just looks like a scene of escape right now. Very chaotic exit for everyone. The few people that are remaining are very angry with the media. We are feeling a lot of rage from people right now as everyone is trying to process what
Bitch, what do you mean?
Of course, it is not uncommon for the former president at his rallies to point
Don't
out
politicize
the media, to call them fake
the
news and to
former
target
president
the
getting
frustration
shot
of
with a
his
gun.
supporters towards the press, and that is a little bit of what we are experiencing right now as people are trying to make sense of what happened. What
It's
was
time for
supposed to
thoughts
be,
and
was
prayers.
just before these sounds
Sir?
rang out, just before this incident, a pretty jovial,
It's a good joke. It's a good joke.
mood.
It's a good joke.
Music
That person
was
is definitely
playing. The
joking.
former president had just started his speech, and then everything changed, Jose.
I want to bring
Dude,
in
it's
Tom
crazy. The
Witcher,
Aussies were
special-
supposed to travel to Pennsylvania to go to this rally.
What we can discern from these images
Instead,
that we
they're at
have
fucking
from just moments
SneakerCon
ago
in
is that
Anaheim.
The former president was speaking, and then as what appear to be gunshots start ringing out, more than one, Tom, is when he seems to touch his right ear, and almost quickly right after that starts dropping, and then that's when the security joined him. But Tom, it looks as though from this image that there is blood just from his right ear, which may have also grazed his cheek.
Jose, I want to stress to everybody that it is preliminary. The information that I am sharing with our audience right now is very early in this investigation. Everything I say is subject to change as law enforcement gathers more information as an investigation continues. I can say...
I hate how much plot armor this motherfucker has, bro. I'm sorry.
Officials have been briefed initially on the events at the ground.
It's over.
Reporting
It's so
along with
over.
my colleague Jonathan Dinks.
I'm pulling a Dave Wasserman. I've seen enough.
The president is not expected
I hate this shit, dude. I hate this shit.
Expected to survive this incident. I think that's the most important thing for people to know. The former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, current presumptive nominee in the Republican Party, is expected to survive this incident. That's the initial indication that we have from the ground. There is an initial indication that either a fragment of a piece of ammunition or ammunition may have struck the president. It's possible it could have been a bullet ricochet. We just don't know. It's very early in this investigation. We do not have any sort of sense of a suspect. We do not have any sort of a sense of it's just one person.
Here's the
or
AP
two people.
photo,
We don't
yeah.
know. We don't know the type of weapon that's used. We don't know the motivation, though it appears to be clear to be going after former President Trump. But again, the headline at this time, the initial indications is that Donald Trump is expected to survive this incident. We've got a lot more calls to make.
I don't think it was a pellet gun, but I can't tell. But it doesn't sound like a pellet gun, but who knows?
Could change entirely in the next 5 minutes, the next 5 hours. We don't know. But that's the initial indication that we have, all subject to change.
Tom Witcher, of course, stay on this, and thank you for being with us tonight on this rapidly developing news story. Former President Donald Trump appears to have been shot or hit by some either ammunition or fragments in a rally that he was holding in Pennsylvania just moments ago. I want to turn to the moderator of Meet the Press, Kristen Welker, who is with us as well tonight. Kristen, these images that we're showing show the president to be conscious, the former president to be conscious the entire time, shaking and waving his fist in the air, but there does seem to be blood emerging from his right ear, and possibly maybe some injury to the cheek.
Jose, that's right. The images are horrifying. The former president, with his face bloodied, he's pumping his fists.
That is
he
the sound of 1 million Republicans nutting collectively.
The
Okay.
Secret Service. The political
that is the
world
sound
is
of
starting
thousands of DC staffers and Republican wonks collectively nutting. That is going to be absolutely put on a fucking t-shirt
so far
permanently.
Kelly O'Donnell has reached out to the Secret Service. The Secret Service saying they are still gathering information on this incident. So, of course, we will bring that to our viewers as soon as we get that. President Biden, for his part, was at church in Delaware. As he left, he was asked if he'd been briefed on this rally. He said no. He then got back into his motorcade. Undoubtedly, he will be briefed in the coming moments. J.D. Vance, of course, the senator from Ohio, who is a potential contender to be Trump's VP nominee, tweeting out, "Everyone join me in praying for our President Trump and everyone at that rally. I hope everyone is okay." Jose, we cannot
just remember that after Lincoln got shot, he wasn't reelected, so there's still hope. Yeah, JFK too, but
as everyone absorbs
those
what
were very
has happened
different
again, the former
ones.
president rushed off stage, pumping his fist, appearing to have been injured at this rally in Pennsylvania, Jose.
Kristen Walker, thank you so very much. Stay with us.
Yeah, bro, he is such a fucking content demon, like straight up. Such a goddamn content demon, dude. And of course, every hog is posting the photo already. I told you. Immediately, Tucker Carlson, 20K likes. He's such a fucking content monster, dude. He got shot, got up, ear bleeding, face bleeding, throws up a fist. It's so Jover. Oh my fucking God. Yes, it is real. It happened in front of our eyes. We literally watched it in real time. Sick photo? Yeah, of course it's a sick photo. Are you kidding me? Look, I don't know anything about who shot him, how they shot him, what they shot him with, what kind of grazing occurred. But what I will tell you is this. When motherfuckers shoot at Republicans, they use 22s, okay? And they don't go for center mass. And history shows that when you do that, I don't know if they used 22s here, but historically speaking, when that sort of thing happens, well, you know, it's a Bolsonaro style situation where they become super fucking popular. That's why people say when you come at the king, you best not miss. Oh my Lord. It was the anti-Castro communists again. Man, I keep thinking about what you say. Anything can happen for election day. COVID was very sudden. Is history rhyming? This is why I always tell you that, yes, polling is good to understand what's going on for now. But that doesn't mean you will know what happens come election time. Just like COVID. Okay? If it wasn't for COVID, the likelihood of Trump's reelection was almost a complete fucking lock. Not only did COVID happen, Trump got COVID like literally 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the election. Word has got a live cam going on with the police, on the area.
To his speech here.
Bro, how is she
crowd
still
also
there?
Quite angry at the press, and we are now being told by Secret Service that we need to leave, Jose. So I'm going to say goodbye to you for now, but we will keep you posted. I'll post it out. I'll phone in later if we have more information, Jose.
Dasha, thank you very much. Do what is needed to do. Stay safe and do exactly what authorities are asking you to do. I want to, and if you're listening to us on radio, I want you to listen as well as watch what happened just short moments ago in Pennsylvania at former President Donald Trump's rally. We're going to start from this part and just go right through the whole incident.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Bro, they're going to play that forever, dude. Fucking Teflon, dude. unbowed assassination attempt victim who showed poise and courage right after nearly being killed versus a guy who can't remember his friends' names is beyond over. No, it has never been more Jover than it is at this very moment. That's the reason why so many of you are looking at this and going, it must be scripted. Because it's so perfect the way that all of this unfolded that it literally feels scripted. And the reason why you feel that way is because it is so fucking Jover.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay. Watch out.
Wait.
They went crazy. And before you say, oh, it just like feels scripted because he like just walks it off. Dude, shock, adrenaline is incredibly powerful.
This time around, as we play back what happened just a short while ago in Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally,
Republicans are also going to get like expert level victimhood status too, which is also additionally annoying. Like they're going to be like, how dare you? Oh, this guy's flipping off the camera.
Again, shots
fuck
fired
you, media, fuck you,
initially,
you
and then there
this.
was some responsive shots. We also heard members of security say the shooter is down. Peter Alexander is with us, our chief White House correspondent. Peter, what do we know as of right now? And I understand that President Biden has been informed of what happened.
Wow, dude.
Jose, that's right. We have been in touch with senior officials at the White House who tell NBC News that President Biden, who is spending this weekend at his property in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, has been informed, has been briefed by aides about the situation currently taking place, or that has just taken place at that rally for former President Trump in Pennsylvania. I spoke to another official there who conceded that they are trying to get as much information as they can right now. Clearly,
he's still throwing up
there are a
fists
lot
while
of
they're
events
putting
that
him
are
in the
moving
fucking
very
car,
quickly
bro.
at this
Stop throwing
time.
up
The
the
president,
fist.
only
Stop
moments
it.
before this took place,
Stop
in the
fisting.
church at Rehoboth.
Stop.
And when he exited the
Every
church,
fist is
reporters
another
asked him if he
10,000 in a
had-
fucking
if he
red
was aware
state,
of it
a
or
key
had been
state turning into
informed
a
about it.
red
At that
state.
time, he had not been. It's clear at this
Every time he throws up his fist, Michigan is more over than
is
it was
clearly
before.
a very dramatic moment for this country.
He's
both
farming it.
President Biden and
New
many
York
members
is now officially a battleground state.
of all kinds. Nobody anticipated anything of this kind to take place. As someone who travels routinely with the president and formerly with former President Trump and with Mr. Trump as a candidate, the perimeter is usually very tightly protected from a great distance as well. As you saw,
He's clip farming harder than the new crop of FaZe talent. He's like FaZe Ronaldo. He's clip farming harder than Jinxie. He keeps throwing up his fucking fist.
Been at many of these Trump rallies, and
It's
here's a new picture
over.
from one of our colleagues there on the ground, the photojournalists who are in the front row, showing the blood on
over.
former president's face and clearly on his ear as well. There he is pumping his fist as he was effectively chanting "fight" to those members, his supporters who were there. The perimeter is usually quite wide here, and having traveled with President Biden recently when he was overseas in Europe, I was struck by how wide that perimeter was, with snipers in many areas keeping a very close eye. And I suspect many of our colleagues in law enforcement would communicate that for a former president and now the presumptive nominee on the Republican side, there would have been a very wide perimeter. So now that we are told by law enforcement that it's believed that Donald Trump will certainly survive this incident, immediately the questions turn to how this happened, who's responsible for it, and what needs to be done to help better secure any of these
Libs
political
are coping
figures
on
over the
Twitter
course of
so
the
hard
next
right now, calling it
several
all
days and
staged.
weeks,
That's
not
so
the least of
funny.
which begins with the Republican National
We're reaching a new
Convention that's
level of like
scheduled to
liberal
start on
QAnon.
Monday in Milwaukee. A giant perimeter has been
Biden
built
lost the
around,
phase vote.
the Milwaukee arena. where they're going to be hosting that event.
He just
in
maxed out
Washington.
his
A
aura.
huge
He definitely
perimeter was
winning the
built for
election
NATO
now.
summit
Oh
that
my
President Biden
God.
was participating in with world leaders as well. But as I'm speaking to you, I'm checking my phone and texting with colleagues, with staff at the White House for any additional
It's starting.
Jose,
You
as we gather
motherfucker,
that,
you
we
had
will, of
Trump
course, share it with you.
shot.
Peter Alexander, thank you so very much. Of course, continue monitoring this for us. I want to bring in retired ATF Special Agent Jim Kavanaugh. He is with us tonight. Jim, and when we look at these images, there is so much that tells people like you so much about the trajectory, where it seems that these gunshots or whatever came from. The president was looking towards his right when at least two of what seems to be gunshots rang out.
He's gonna be a
and then
fucking.
he immediately
He's gonna be a 4-term president, dude.
here as he was dropping. It seems later,
This is
Jim,
the day that the election
there
was
may
lost.
be up to two what appear to be lines, one right up above his mouth on his cheek going towards his ear, and then one.
4 more years, 4 more terms until Barron becomes
What does this
president.
tell you, Jim?
Yeah, well, you're exactly right, Jose. I mean, he certainly reacted to his right. I mean, appears to be he was struck in his right ear. That where appears to be where all the blood is. We don't know if that blood on the cheek is a wound or just blood spatter. It's hard to tell. But he certainly reacted to his right. He felt the sting on his right, probably his right ear. There's bleachers behind him that are filled, with supporters. But he kind of looks to his
It's
right.
wild that we are able to watch history
that the shot
unfold
was directly to his
live
right.
on
It came directly from his right. It's just-
Twitch.motherfucking
He had hit him
TV.
on the.
Take a look at what happened.
There you see it, Jim.
Yeah.
This is like, I mean, we watched
Jim,
January
stand by.
6th
I want to go to
unfold.
Kristen Welker, who has some very late-breaking news.
Jose, Secret Service spokesperson just posted on X saying an incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation and further information will be released when available. Again, that is from the Secret Service. Everyone just absorbing what has occurred and unfolded in Pennsylvania. We're also getting reaction from a number of the vice presidential potential picks of former President Trump. Again, just to reiterate, the Republican National Convention is just days away from getting underway, set to begin on Monday. Senator Rubio posting praying for President Trump and all those attending the rally in Pennsylvania today. Senator Vance, everyone join me in praying for our President Trump and everyone at that rally. I hope everyone is okay. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, please join Catherine and me in praying for President Trump, his family,
Butler,
and
PA.
everyone
Trump
attending the
says
rally
he is
today.
fine in
Carrie
statement. It
Lake,
says he's being checked
for
at a
Senate
medical
candidate,
facility.
posting, please pray for President Trump. So reaction just beginning to pour in
Fox
from
News.
the political world. Of
Representative
course,
Dan
as Peter just
Moiser, who was at the
reported,
Trump rally, says he heard 8
President
10
Biden
shots.
has
Appeared like multiple
been
people in the crowd
briefed.
were hit, according to
This
Fox
is
News.
The scenario that everyone, of course, feared and was trying to protect against. Certainly, as we head toward the conventions this summer, security is in the spotlight. The questions, of course, now, how could this have happened at a rally for the
Elon
presumptive
Musk
Republican?
uses this crisis as an opportunity to endorse Donald Trump. I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery. Dark days are ahead of us. I made the joke. I said, you think this will be fucking an opportunity for gun control? But fuck no, dude. The only gun control that will be enforced in this country is like if you have ever demonstrated any kind of left-leaning sentiment. Like, for example, we shouldn't murder gay people or whatever. The government will come and take your guns away only to give it to the people who say they should kill gay people. Going forward, holding my tongue. I got lots of jokes, not trying to get you in trouble. I mean, I've been doing that as well. So I've been holding my tongue as well. You're not getting the RNC pass? Bitch, what do you mean? Is the RNC even fucking happening? I don't even know. I don't even know what you're talking about. What is the RNC? I didn't get the Secret Service clearance anyway, but I don't know. I don't know, man. What's Brandon going to say about this? You'll be like, we beat Medicare.
7 Eastern time. So we're doing a lot of reporting. Law enforcement, U.S. Secret Service trying to get a handle on it. As you can imagine, federal law enforcement agencies, and I'm including my reporting with my colleague Jonathan Dienst on this, federal law enforcement agencies are all acutely aware of what's going on and are standing by to provide any sort of information or do any sort of investigative work, depending upon what they might find. Of course, there'll be questions about security. If this was, in fact, an intentional act, there'll be questions about the what and the why. But right now, I think folks are still trying to get a handle on the details, the most important of which, just so people understand the current condition of the former president, is that he is expected to survive.
So I want to thank you very much. Stay with us. I want to go to Hallie Jackson, who has an update from the Trump campaign. Hallie?
Yeah, per a campaign spokesperson, I'm going to read you this statement in full as obtained by our colleague Garrett Hake. That President Trump thanks law enforcement and first responders for their quick action during this heinous act. The spokesperson goes on to say he is fine and being checked out at a local medical facility. That is it for now. We do expect more details to follow, but obviously significant now as we're looking at some of these images here.
Hot take, this won't change the election that much.
That he is, in the words of the campaign,
we'll see.
He is apparently
I don't know about that.
and is obviously being looked at now.
People do hate Trump, myself included. Like everybody, like people that hate Trump still hate Trump. They're not going to be like, I love Trump now.
Convention that for the presumptive Republican
but this will bring a lot more people to pay attention to what the fuck's going on in the
just
cycle.
Days before he is set to officially accept the nomination. We want to be super careful here because there's still a lot we don't know about motivation, but I will just echo what some of my colleagues have said here, having been to many of these kinds of rallies. There is a security perimeter in place for any time you go to an event with any current or former president. There are mags, there is security, there's a perimeter, and it is usually, obviously, always pretty intense. And so there are going to be a lot of questions here moving forward as to how this could have happened as we're looking at these very dramatic visuals now from photographers who are lined up right there on stage in Butler, Pennsylvania. We have seen a lot of reaction coming in. I know that Kristen just went through some of it from people like Mike Pence, from others in the party saying that they are praying for the former president. As you see there, the blood on his face as he's holding up his hand, that shot that we have been replaying here, Jose. But again, the word from the Trump campaign, he is fine, they say, and currently being checked out. We're going to update you the second we get anything more.
Hallie Jackson, thank you very much. I want to go back to Dasha Burns, who was at that Trump rally north of Pittsburgh and has new reporting. She joins us on the phone. She was asked to leave the area as it is considered a crime scene.
Yeah, Jose, that's right. Everyone has now been evacuated. That includes attendees, staff, that includes the press as well. We have our crew has convened. We're all together.
The shooter was Ben Simmons, who averaged 13% from distance in his career. Great interview. Thank you for this. Thank you for this call in from the scene. That's great.
A member who was an elected official.
Dasha,
you are screened.
I'm so sorry. I just can't. We're not able to make out exactly what you're saying. It is a very chaotic scene where you are. The communications are difficult. We're going to try to reestablish a better line of communication with Dasha Burns. I want to go back to Peter
Alexander. The shooter was Cristiano Ronaldo? Bitch, if the shooter was Cristiano Ronaldo, he wouldn't have missed. What are you talking about?
Jose, no new information from the White House right now.
Shooter barely went 1 for 8. What are you talking about? Bro's the reason they make scripts. I can't even fucking log into. I can't even watch the. Does anyone have a Fox News link? I need a Fox News link. I need to see what the fuck they're saying.
Governor of the state of Pennsylvania. So that's just the latest information we're getting from there. Again, we are reaching out to our to the staff at the White House right now. President Biden, as we noted earlier, is traveling. He is in Delaware right now. The reporters, the pool that travels with him, we are told by reporters they are being kept inside the vans that they normally travel in a safe distance away from his home. But that is the latest in terms of the information that we have, Jose.
Peter Alexander, thank you so very much as we continue our coverage. Lester Holt continues with our breaking news.
Jose, thank you very much as we continue to cover the events here. I want to go to Dasha Burns. Dasha was in the crowd covering this event. I think we've reestablished your signal. Dasha, do you hear us okay?
Yeah, Lester, I'm on a better line, I think. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Lester, I will tell you that what transpired is the former president was just
so first coming from Secret Service and now from the Trump campaign itself, that it sounds like he is doing well, and whatever the intentions were of whatever happened there.
I and our team were up on the press risers as he first started speaking. We were just making our way off of those risers. We were heading to the ground level where all of the attendees were on the grass in the field at this venue when we heard what initially I thought might have been fireworks. The Trump rallies often involve pyrotechnics. Sometimes there is smoke for effect. So initially there was confusion, shock, surprise for myself being there personally.
How easy is it to shoot a president? Bro, I wouldn't be saying that right now.
Were of whatever happened there at the rally. It sounds like he's going to be just fine, and probably, I would guess, you knowing him, I knowing him as many folks know him, probably more fired up than ever to get back out there on the campaign trail.
Bro, this motherfucker is made
just the indication that he wanted to get up and raise his fist after that moment, I think was an image he wanted to portray. I think there's a lot to know where things are coming from.
Bro, why are you turning off a first-hand account of a woman on the phone for
Brett,
this?
thank you very much. Safe travels. We will see you here very shortly in Milwaukee. Excuse me, I want to make sure that we get to nationally syndicated political reporter Selena Zito. She is a Pennsylvanian. She is somebody who has a Pennsylvanian, I guess would be the right term. She covers this state border to border, knows it inside and out. You were there at the rally, Selena. Can you tell us what you witnessed?
Yeah, so I was here at the rally, been here since 12 o'clock this afternoon. I had actually met with the president for a couple minutes before he went out on the stage. He was in great spirits.
Hogs are going to go crazy today, dude.
The rally. I was in the buffer, so the buffer zone is the area where it's like this narrow area that's right along.
By the way, anytime a president gets shot or like a 9/11 style situation happens, check in on your most like susceptible to conspiratorial thinking friends, because in the upcoming days, they are going to have life-changing thoughts. Okay? I'm telling you right now, a lot of people that you took for granted as like normal family members are going to no longer be normal family members. These are always life-changing events for many American families. They're going to fucking turn around and be like, some of them are going to turn around and be like, this was a false flag. Look at him, like the fact that he got up immediately, shit like that. You know, I'm telling you right now, this is Blue Anon is about to go crazy. We're talking about the MAGA crowd going crazy, but Blue Anon will be extra nutty as well. There's hella members in the chat currently riding with the false flag conspiracy.
The shooter.
Obviously, the dumbest chatters in the chat are like, gaming tonight? Yeah, dude, we're gaming with American democracy's future.
And it was hard to tell exactly where the shots were coming from. I thought I saw some smoke on the right-hand side of the
Obviously,
stage.
Who knows how the fucking hogs operate going forward? They're going to get extra nutty. But you know who else is going to get extra nutty? The Blue Anon liberals. Okay? Blue Anon liberals are going to go crazy mode. Especially considering how dire Biden's chances were to begin with. MAGA is going to say this was fucking MAGA is going to say this was Biden's doing, okay? In which we'll have a funny little moment to talk about how, you know, is it constitutionally legal for Biden to potentially attempt an assassination of a former president and a political, you know, rival running for office? The Supreme Court did rule it. You know, the Supreme Court made it extra hard to prosecute such things. So that's number one. So, but that's besides the point. You know, it might have been an official act. I'm kidding. Obviously, I don't think this was Biden. But, you know, that's a conversation that you can have with your MAGA relatives that will say this was Biden. This was Biden's doing. Having said that, however, I think that there is going to be a lot of fucking panic and craziness on the liberal side as well. Liberals going with this was a false flag attempt because they can't cope with the reality that at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break, and that is very real unless you subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. $6, sorry, inflation. Brandon's America. There I go again. Right, Twitch Prime is free though, as long as you connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Here's the 3-minute ad break coming for you right now. In the eve of a historic moment.
Not see anyone get injured. You saw the former president with some blood on his face. And
this is nutty.
He is safe. We are safe, and we are just looking to learn as many details as we can.
All right, Dasha Burns with that, excuse me, first-person account of what occurred there in Pennsylvania. And again, we saw that close-up picture.
Democrats have a really wonderful opportunity to change the message from Donald Trump's brave martyrdom to who the next presidential candidate is going to be. This is the ace in their pocket. This is the ace up their sleeve. I'm telling you right now. Oh, they found the shooter. BNO News says one person killed. That's BNO News, man. County prosecutor says one person killed in shooting at Trump rally, former president safe. That's probably the shooter, by the way, because they said they got him. If one person has been killed, there's going to be a lot of fucking misinformation flying around. But if there's one person that's killed, it most likely is the shooter because they said they got him. They took him down. Yeah, in the video, you hear him saying, shoot her down, shoot her down.
What specifically happened, although we've obviously been seeing it and watching it for ourselves. The Secret Service, they say, has implemented protective measures.
If Biden got shot, it would not have had this effect. Brother, if Biden got shot, he would not stand up and throw a fucking fist. He would be dead. Just from the sheer panic, he would just die. Like, what do you mean? Biden would have died before the bullet hit him because he would have heard the loud noise and it would have scared him to death. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, I suspect that like whoever would do such a thing would be probably a hog with better aim. Nice title, bro. What do you mean? It's what happened. Trump shot at PA rally is my title. Are you going to cry? Are you going to fucking do like liberal baiting here as a die in the wool hog? You're going to be like, oh, I can't believe you're not demonstrating a level of respect for the former president. Like, you're a piece of shit if you're already like a fucking massive Trump supporter. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to spare your fucking feelings, dipshit. I didn't even write anything crazy. I'm not like celebrating. I just simply said Trump shot at PA rally. He did. You can see it on the fucking screen.
New York, we are following the events in Pennsylvania where former President Trump, appearing at a rally, suffered what appears to be a wound to his ear after pops were heard. Multiple pops, according to witnesses, believed to be potentially gunshots. The former president, taken from the stage, surrounded by Secret Service, ultimately put into his armored vehicle and whisked away from the scene. You heard my colleague say that rally site is now a crime scene as the Secret Service now takes over in the investigation. There's certainly many details we've not been able to confirm or fill out at this point. We don't know the status of the shooter and or shooters. We don't know if other people were shot. in this attack. But there you see the shot. I think that people will see a lot of the former president looking defiantly and triumphantly, even as he's led away with that bloodied face. We want to show you there is video of the incident. We're going to take a moment here and watch. Here it is.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
It is more Jover than it has been in quite a long time, I think.
Move to the spare. Hold. When you're ready, on you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready. You ready? Down. Are we good to move?
They're saying shooters down. So if you're hearing reports about somebody, if you're hearing reports right now about somebody dying at the rally, it's probably the shooter. And the 8 to 10 shots that were fired could literally be the police firing back, Secret Service firing back at the shooter.
Watch out.
The former president obviously dazed by what had transpired. You hear him say, "Let me get my shoes," as Secret Service surrounds him. Typically, Secret Service protectees are protected by layers of teams. You see the folks usually in the dark uniforms there with the assault weapons. It's part of a counter-assault team that typically is certainly on presidential security. I can't tell you for sure if we would see it in this case, a former president, but nonetheless, you see these teams begin to surround Mr. Trump, and then somebody says clear. We don't know if they're referring to the threat. If the threat was neutralized, that's obviously the
Biden was
next
already losing. This is beyond
worry
over.
is to
Perfect
make
fascist
sure that
aesthetics.
there
Wait
is no
until we
further
see who the
threat
shooter is.
to the
That is gonna
protectee,
add
in this
another
case,
layer of coverage.
former
Oh,
President
yeah.
Trump or anyone in the crowd.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. If it's an undocumented migrant, dude, listen, if you have any kind of like Mexican in your ancestry, you're getting deported, okay? Like it is, if the shooter...
This is right, spot on here,
What is
Lester.
happening?
They do
What's
have layered
effing?
security. A lot of it is provided also by local law enforcement. You can see their SWAT teams are there assisting. And the former president has a permanent detail, of course, of Secret Service agents that protect him, a detail leader, a special agent in charge. They're all very close to him. You can see when he was hit, his face is actually turned to the right, and he grabs his right ear. Now, you can hear some small popping noises, and you can also see the crowd react to the noise. So, you know, I think I would probably rule out some sort of a slingshot. I think it is some sort of a weapon. Now, it could be a small caliber handgun that grazed his ear. That's a possibility.
Oh, he's saying he's ruling out a slingshot.
It also could be something like a simunition. And that's a round that we use in training, that police use in training. It will bust your skin. It will hurt you. It fires from a regular firearm. You know, sometimes people use similar type. There's various types, but sometimes they use them in paintball activities. So it could be a firearm, and that could be a small caliber weapon that just grazed him, because it looks like the shot came from the right, and he was actually facing the right. He had his head turned toward the right. So it doesn't appear the shot came from the bleachers above, which is a small group of supporters there. And it might have came more from his right. And there's multiple shots. So, you know, clearly, I mean, we'd look at this and say someone trying to shoot the former president in the head. Misses mostly if he fired, you know, a few rounds, because you can hear some popping. But might have grazed him with one. Now, what kind of projectile it was, if it was, like I say, if it was an actual firearm, I'd be thinking it's a small caliber weapon. The reports are not real loud that I can tell, although we'll probably get better audio. It doesn't sound like any kind of a rifle or anything. And he's dazed by it, Lester, and you made that observation a minute ago. He is dazed by it. So when he's hit by the projectile, he sees his head's facing right. I think you should know. He's looking to the right, and there's the pops. You can hear 2 pops, and he grabs his ear. So it's a small caliber handgun if it's an actual firearm, or it could be a simunition that still breaks the skin, still causes an injury there.
And Jim, you and I have both been to events on this scale, and certainly I've been to presidential events on this scale, and you look around at the security challenge there. Everybody, of course, carries a smartphone right now, and they have to make a quick judgment: is that a phone or is that a weapon?
Right.
A lot of movement, a lot of dynamic action going on at these sorts of events. I can't imagine it getting much more challenging from a security standpoint.
Yes, you're exactly right. I served on many of these Secret Service details as an ATF agent over all my 33 years, and we were always called in on those details, especially the campaign years, to work close to the candidates. Some of the agents traveled extensively with them to supplement Secret Service. So other agents, and back then we were ATF was in Treasury with Secret Service, so we were always called upon to help them. But watch what happens once the former president
The person who attacked Trump was detained. I doubt that that's the person.
They completely get around him. So
wait,
another
really?
shot is hard to get.
Oh, they're bleeding.
That's what they're trying to do. When they yell clear, I would think they're yelling clear to the armored vehicle. They can go to the armored vehicle. That's what they want to do. And I would think that's the clear notice they're giving each other. Clear path to the armored vehicle. Because that's what they want to do, is get them in and get them away.
Again, this is the weekend for the Republican National Convention. It is also the weekend that we were expecting we might hear former President Trump's announcement of a running mate. I want to go to Kristen Welker right now. Kristen, we have been watching these members of the so-called short list of potential nominees. Are we hearing from any of them? And if so, what are they saying?
Lester, we're hearing from all of them,
BBC?
and I should preface this by saying this is one of those rare,
I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know.
That brings people together across the political aisle. So let me read you some of what we are hearing from the potential
Staged, and how do you miss our trending in the United States? BB gun is trending in the United States.
Senator Marco Rubio putting out on X, praying for
President Trump. I don't know if this
is
from this campaign. You don't know.
Pennsylvania today. Senator Vance posting, everyone join me in praying for our President Trump and everyone at the rally. I hope everyone is okay. Doug Burgum writing, please join Catherine and me, his wife, in praying for President Trump, his family, and everyone attending the rally. Carrie Lake also tweeting out her words of support. And then Senator Bernie Sanders, independent senator, posting, political violence is absolutely unacceptable. I wish Donald Trump and everyone else who may have been hurt a speedy recovery. Pausing on that last
saying, how do you miss though? You must not be. You must not be aware that this happens to right wingers quite a bit globally. The United States of America literally happened to the one guy that we were watching earlier. That is perhaps the most analogous for the Trump presidency, Ronald Reagan. So, this happens a lot. It has happened. Yeah, it's when it happens to like Democrats, it's a little different. When it happens to Democrats, they die. Or when it happens to like more progressive people on the ticket, even if they are a Republican, back at when the Republican Party first started, when it was very different. It was a force of progress. They die. When it happens to right wingers, not as much.
A mother-son who say that they were right there. They were in the area where this happened. Donna, let me start with you. First of all, are you okay?
Yes, I'm shook. I'm definitely shook up, but I'm okay. Yeah, and Trump was talking, watching him. I heard pop, pop, pop. I thought it was like a cap gun. And my son's like, gun, get down. And next thing you know, everybody around us was down. And then once we got down, we was up at the top of our bleacher. The men were yelling to all the snipers and all the cops to come over because he had shot a man and a woman in our bleacher. We heard the one is very fatal. We don't know that for sure, but they were down. They went out on grenades.
So Joe, what exactly did you see? Because from our vantage point, we couldn't see what was going on. We didn't see any individuals. All we could do was listen for those sounds. But what did you see?
Again, I was watching the president, and you hear the gunshots
guys,
go off.
the idea that Trump did this to himself is very silly. Please don't lean
shooter
on,
climbed up
blue MAGA conspiracies, please.
And after we got down, like my mom
Like
said,
it's
there was 2 people down. They were calling for
please don't do this.
See the
His
2 people that
opponent,
were shot,
as of
and we saw them
an
get
hour
carried out.
ago,
Like, I don't know.
his
The
opponent
one didn't
was
look like
already
they
a
were
carcass.
I hope the other one's okay.
Okay,
and just
his opponent was already a
gotta watch over them
carcass.
tonight.
And Don, you said 2 people. Were these 2 people fellow attendees of the rally? And what kind of did you see them get shot directly, or did you just see the aftermath?
No, you just heard the noise. You heard the pop, 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 seen the aftermath, and neither of them looked good. They were both down. Nobody was talking. Nobody was moving.
What was going through your mind as you were witnessing all of this?
Are they still here? And am I going to get shot? That's what's going through my mind. He's holding my hand, and we were going to get up and try to get out of here. And some gentleman there said, no, you stay down. So we stayed down, and then we finally heard everybody evacuate, and he grabbed my hand, and we got out of there.
And Joe, what was your state of mind coming into this rally today? What were you expecting, and what are you feeling now as we all experienced a day that none of us thought would come?
Well, I was excited. I mean, this is our second rally, and the first.
Bro, Biden is in fucking Rehoboth right now. How is he gonna do a fucking State of the Union style addressal? How is he gonna do how is he gonna do a press conference? He has to. Okay? And he's in his fucking beach home in a goddamn vat right now. Do you understand? He's taking a fucking nap currently. And it's after 4 p.m. It's 7 p.m. over there. Listen, he needed to take this weekend off. He did 1 rally. So cooked. So fucking cooked. Alleged video of the shooter. Don't show on stream. No, we already saw that video. It's just, we don't know anything yet. I told you. Oh, they, it looks like it's from that same area, but
The snipers. These were the people protecting the former president.
That's correct. And now they were over in the lawn. They were watching every single person with their guns going by. I believe the 1 injured person was over there that they had. Wasn't he on the one on the ground?
Yeah, so before they evacuated, they carried the 2 injured people out. Then they yelled for us to get evacuated. At that point, all the Secret Service were up in our section with the guns, and they were all in the field. Because like I said, rumor was he climbed up the back of our bleacher, so.
Joe, Donna, thank you both so much. I'm so glad you are safe. I know this was not the day that you were expecting, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Don't go too far. I might have some follow-up questions for you. So, Lester, there you have it. Another firsthand account. They were right there. This was not the experience anyone was expecting, still trying to grapple with what just happened here, Lester.
Dasha Burns, thank you for that interview. Very revealing. We should point out it's unconfirmed what those witness accounts were of other people who might have been wounded. We're tracking all that.
All right, we're getting updates right now. Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldinger told me that the shooter is confirmed dead. 1 attendee at the rally is also confirmed dead. This is also from WTAE, Pittsburgh TV, Pittsburgh Local News. Confirmed, Butler County District Attorney tells me 1 person is believed to be dead. Donald Trump is okay. He tells me no information about the shooter right now. Update, District Attorney says he believes the person who died was someone in the crowd. Now, we know that they also said that they shot the shooter. So I suspect that there might be more than 1 person that died. It might be 2 people, 1 attendee, and the shooter himself.
There's a lot of conflicting information right now.
But we don't know yet. We don't know yet. Once again, this isn't an official confirmation. This is not an official confirmation. Remember, in times like this, there's always a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos. I'm not even talking about like people who are deliberately spreading disinformation, but also just people misunderstanding, people rushing to be the first to market with information, with news. There's a lot of people that are there were a lot of people that were at the fucking rally. So when you ask these people at the rally, when you ask these people at the rally, like, they're going to try to give analysis on like where the shot was coming from. I've seen reports about people talking about how this actually was, you know, the shooter was on a bar and like away from, away from the rally, things of that nature. We don't know yet. Okay. Until there is official confirmation from the police, from the Secret Service, from, from actual people that have conducted their investigations. Don't run with any narratives. Okay. Per White House pool, Biden is currently being briefed by a Secret Service director and DHS Secretary Mayorkas of the incident in the PA Trump rally. So as we are speaking, Brandon is being informed about the situation.
We've reported on it. The FBI
he will
director,
most likely go live at some point to speak.
Said that he was concerned about this type of thing, Lester. And so I think everybody's been concerned about the potential issues, the potential things that could come up during the course.
When I said the election has the potential to become very interesting, did you expect it to get this insane? No, I did not. I thought that there could be a potential for obviously either candidate dying, but I didn't think that it would be like this. I thought it was natural causes. So no.
Secret Service agent joining me on the telephone right now. Can you give us a sense from what you have seen, give us your professional eye of what appears to transpire here?
Yes, so what we're seeing is him attending a rally, speaking at the rally, and then we hear the shots. That it almost sounds like these soft popping sounds. So we hear these multiple shots. We see him put his hand to his ear, and then you see these agents come in. Those agents that come in are the shift. It's his detail team. For them to come in like that.
Here's the real reason why. Here's the real conspiracy. Not that it was a false flag, but the real conspiracy is he says, "Let me get my shoes." Why? Because he has lift shoes, and he doesn't want people to find out. That's the real conspiracy, okay? He's got those elevator shoes that shorter people wear to get a fucking height boost.
Immediately comes on top of the
That's why he's like, let me get my shoes. Like, I don't want people to know. I don't want people to know. I don't want people to know I'm 5'11".
Coming after, their job is to move out, and we see them facing out toward the crowd, and they are to look for the threat. Clearly, we see the agents that get around him. They shield him, and then they move in this unison to shield him body-wise so that nothing strikes him. They move him slowly down the stairs and make their way to the armored vehicles. That's what we're looking at. Now, Lester, if we're looking at how did this happen, again, this is all alleged, nothing's been confirmed, but if we're looking at what's going on here, what went...
All I'm going to say is, like, the only chance this is remotely salvageable for the Democrats, and it probably isn't no matter what, but the only chance that it is remotely salvageable for the Democrats from this point on is if it actually was a fucking BB gun. I don't know why it's effing for some people. It's not effing for me. It's fine on my end, and I think it's fine for a lot of people. Twitch, don't fucking fail me now. God damn it, Twitch. Twitch, what are you doing to me, Twitch? Jesus fucking Christ. Of course there are goddamn server issues. What the fuck? Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen. The only way that this is even remotely salvageable for the Democrats is like it's a BB gun, and the people that are fucking it's a BB gun, and they still swap out Biden to change the narrative
to their candidate. That's part of what happens in a campaign.
But I don't think it is. I don't think it is a BB gun, but I'm just saying.
To create, a fortress of security at the same time, allowing people to do what people should be doing at rallies like this.
So let's go to your first point where there's people there. When you do these events, and I've done these events, it's called a site advance. When you secure an event like this, you're the site agent. So you have two goals, two missions. I am to protect the President of the United States, right? However, the other goal or mission is the people at this event. So yes, they're targeting, or let's say assuming, right, that again, we don't have confirmation. But when someone is targeting the president, right, if they're going to shoot, yes, he's an issue, but also the people in the area are an issue, right? Where are all these rounds going?
Twitch
so when
is
we hear
so cooked.
These sounds, these small, these echoes of what appeared
Twitch
to be
is
shots.
so
It wasn't one
unimaginably
shot.
cooked.
There were multiple shots, and every round, Lester, has to go somewhere. It lands somewhere. Where are they going? So you've got all these people. So you are responsible not just for the safety of the U.S. president, but you are responsible for the people there. The president, think of him as he's a target.
I'm literally
right?
going to start
Wherever he
live
moves,
streaming on YouTube if this
danger goes with him
continues.
just
What the
because
fuck?
of what he attracts as a sitting U.S. president or a former president or a candidate. So when you put them in a place like this, you also have to think strategically, what about all the people there? Now, you'll see the barricades that are set up. You see the stage that's set up. What you may not see in that shot is you will have ingress and egress elements. That means you want multiple ways in and multiple ways out. So you want movement for the president. You also want to create an alternate movement for him if he can't get out the primary way. So we've got typically at least 2 ways in, 2 ways out. And those vehicles that are staged there, they are positioned there specifically
I don't know what the fuck's going on with Twitch.
to evacuate him. Because also you're in an open area here, right?
Right.
So you don't have
I'm
that
going to scream
concealment
at my
to cover.
account
You have-
manager. Hold on.
Whenever you do an open area like this, massive line of sight issues, meaning you can get the threat from so many different ways, so many different areas. And just one thing to touch on too, typically after an event like this, it's typically the FBI who comes in to do the investigation of what happened, right? So it's the Secret Service element is the element that does a protection, and the FBI typically is who's going to come in to investigate what and how did this happen.
Abby, let me ask you this. In terms of what kind of intelligence law enforcement has or is given before an event. We're in
Twitch
prime
literally
time
cooking me. I don't know what the
campaign.
fuck to do here. It's like it's not even, dude, look at this. It's fucked up on my end too. And for those of you who can watch, you can watch perfectly fine. But for some weird reason, like some people are experiencing server side issues on Twitch's end.
So here he's going to his location, right? He's going to a town,
I don't know how
to a
I can
city,
set up
wherever
a
he's
simulcast
going.
right at
You
this
work
moment.
From the beginning, you have many meetings with the local police department. The president, former president's coming in. He's going to do a rally, and we share intel. The U.S. Secret Service shares their intel. This is what we're hearing from our side. The local police department,
Fix the fucking
typically because
servers,
they know what's going on in their community, they're also going to have their ears to the ground. They're going to have intelligence and information. And then we have these meetings. The Secret Service will have these meetings before an event where everybody comes together and everybody shares.
If anything, it's out of Twitch's control. Could be a dozen factors. No, on my end, I have no drop frames.
What elements do we need to put in place? So if you're hearing there's a lot of protesters, you're hearing talk that people are going to show up and cause problems, that is all communicated so that you can figure out what you need. And also, you can figure out what assets to put into the crowd to blend in. You're seeing the Secret Service suits, you're seeing the tactical team, you'll see uniforms for police department, but they also have an element there that is the unseen. We don't call them undercovers, but there's those agents and law enforcement who will circulate in the area in plain clothes and kind of lend their ear out and hear what's going on.
All right, Evie, you have been a tremendous help helping us understand the mechanics of security in a situation like this. Hopefully we can rely on you again to talk a bit later, but thank you so much. We continue to look at the video, the shocking video, frankly, from Pennsylvania, where earlier this evening, early evening here on the East Coast, someone apparently took shots at the former President Trump. As we heard, 2 senior law enforcement officials saying there is a growing concern that there may have been a serious attempt.
Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldinger tells me Trump was grazed by gunfire, but a safe and audience member was killed and the shooter is dead.
He's barely
Another
doing
person
okay,
is
but we
in
saw
serious
him
condition.
Clutching his ear, a bloodied ear, as he was led from the scene. People heard multiple pops in the crowd. We are continuing to track information we can about any potential
The
other
person that is
victims.
in serious condition might have also been like shot by the Secret Service, like when they're shooting when they're trying to take down the shooter.
Excited about seeing the candidate, hearing what he had to say.
I have to pee.
Nobody signed up for this, however. I want to go to NBC's Dasha Burns, just outside that Trump rally north of Pittsburgh. Dasha, you were there as the crowds were trying to get out. As you watch the video, of course, your eyes are focused on former President Trump and his reaction, but you're also seeing people in the crowd who seem unaware, don't quite realize what's happening. I suppose that's not unusual. As you were able to exit the grounds, were people beginning to fill in some of the blanks of what they saw and heard?
Yeah, Lester, absolutely. There was a lot of confusion initially. You don't expect something like this to happen going in. There's so much security protocol when you come to a Trump rally. And as we were first hearing those sounds, so many people that I've talked to, myself included, our team here, thought it might have been fireworks. We weren't sure what was going on. Now, as everyone has taken a bit of a breath and is trying to absorb what happened, we now understand that that's not necessarily the case. We are coming to you live right now from the parking lot for this venue. Trump rallies attract thousands and thousands of supporters. There are thousands of cars here. And Lester, we are running into people who have evacuated the rally, are looking for their vehicles and trying to process what just happened. That's how I ran into Aaron here. Aaron was in the front row there near the former president. Aaron, first of all, are you okay? How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I was in the first row. I was directly in front of Trump, my seat. I was looking him in the eye. We heard the pops, maybe 3 minutes into the rally, 3 to 4 minutes. I heard 4 pops, pop, pop, pop. The 4 Secret Service immediately jumped on the stage, and we saw him push President Trump to the ground. Then the gentlemen that have the guns came up to start clear right, clear left. They said, get him up. So they lifted him up, and Trump said, I got to get my shoes on first.
Elin.
Did his shoes come off?
Elin, we don't know if that footage is correct or not.
But his shoes must have come off when they dropped him down to the ground. First thing he said, we could all hear it. I have to get my shoes on first. And when he stood up, I'm looking at him forward, I see the red teardrop right here of blood, fresh red blood, just a little tear. Then when they got him up and they turned him.
If you ask me one more time, Kronos, if the shooter could possibly be connected to ISIS, I'm going to send you to Syria. Okay, or Afghanistan, wherever ISIS still remains, okay? Are you fucking stupid, dude? How am I even physically capable of making this idiotic fucking assessment live in the midst of like breaking news of historic magnitude, and you immediately go, should it be ISIS? There's like 8 guys left on ISIS.
Water
the fuck are you talking about?
Now, when I called my husband at home, who's watching TV, he said, I thought Trump heard it here when he went to the ground. He said, no, on TV they showed before Trump hit the ground, the ear was bleeding. So that sharpshooter went across, Trump turned his head, his ear must have been nipped.
Typical fucking EUND.
Could you see anyone injured besides the blood on the former president?
All I saw was the gentleman from Beaver County who spoke earlier in the day, who was running for the State House Representative, Elmore, I know his name. He had a white shirt on, and I saw him come from that left stands where the people were mostly shot. I think there was several. They said 3 medevacs left here. Blood was down the right side of his, he wasn't shot, but you could see that he was next to somebody who must have been bleeding profusely, because he either helped them and ran, rubbed against them or tried to get them help or something. It was covered. So I knew that he was near somebody. That was my first indication that somebody was actually shot when I saw his blood on his shirt.
Aaron, when did you realize that, hey, this might not be fireworks, this might be something else?
When they
emergency
got
room
Trump
doctor
down on the
tried to
ground.
say someone's live in the crowd.
So concerned that he wasn't hit,
That's
because
exactly where I heard him come
it happens so
from.
fast. It's really hard to process it.
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there.
Oh,
and so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got him up on the bench.
Shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did it.
We need to evacuate everybody. Hunter, that's exactly.
Not one. I was shocking. No one was concerned about us. We were only concerned about him.
Now, you're somewhere safe. You're out of there as you're starting to process this. I know we'll all be processing this over the coming days and weeks. How are you feeling now in this moment?
Well, what I've heard coming out here is now they feel that there was 2 shooters on both sides. So they got the one on the tower on this side, but the one on the right side they never got. So that's why they wanted us to leave immediately, because they thought there's still a shooter out there somewhere. So there could be in these woods around Butler.
Aaron, you know, I've covered many Trump rallies. I don't know how many you've been to.
My 6th. This is yours. I was here. I was the 4th car in the parking lot this morning at 20 to 7. So I've worked all day.
You've been here all day. You know that.
I knew you were NBC. Yeah,
we're here. Look, you know the atmosphere coming into a Trump rally. The supporters, very jovial, very celebratory. Typically, people are selling merchandise, food. What were you coming in with today, and what are you leaving with tonight?
Well, I was here 4 years ago when he was in Butler. You know, it was like 58,000 people. I tell people it was the most magical night of my life. When he came on that helicopter and circled 2 times, he had 4 rallies that night. It was just an unbelievable night. And I was anticipating to be another unbelievable night, but not this way. And it's just very sad. I mean, all these people that came to see him and to have him hurt, I can't even describe it, you know. I just feel sad. I feel sad for our country. I feel sad for everybody, you know. I mean, you don't like the guy, don't vote for him. Don't kill him. We love the guy. We're going to vote for him. You know, I mean, what is up with this violence? I mean, it's just terrible.
What is up with this violence, says the right-wing Trump supporter.
I'm glad that guy's no longer with us anymore in that tower. And I hope they get the other one, too. And I hope they don't nick him. I hope they get him and he's down.
Aaron, thank you so much. I'm so glad. No, I'm so glad you're safe. I know it's a lot to process today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Absolutely. Right. The shoes.
BBC interview with a guy outside the security perimeter who claims he saw the shooter before he fired. Oh my fucking Lord, by the way. Look at his hat. He's got the Trump hair visor. Oh my God, this is the silliest way that anyone could ever attempt to cover a fucking potential political assassination. Jesus Christ.
You weren't inside the event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farm and Greenhouse here. We had a party. And we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here, I have no idea, you know. But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely.
This is classic, by the way. Like, this is actually classic. Multiple shooter theory, things like that. All of that is a staple. Okay, so ultimately, I mean, look, I have no reason to believe this dude's lying, but like, I need you to understand that in a situation like this, there's gonna be a lot of fucking people. There's also an alleged video of a shooter that was on a fucking, not a rooftop, but like on top of like pallets. But it could be literally a Secret Service sniper that he saw. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many things. Eyewitness testimony, especially in the moment in a chaotic situation like this, is going to be unimaginably unreliable. Okay? I'm just letting you guys know. I don't want you to fucking rush to conclusions off of shit like this. Once again, I will reiterate that statement. Okay?
We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And Next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in.
I have seen the possible video of a person on a roof apparently dead. Okay. I know. I saw. Okay. If you think you have a new video, trust me, you do not have a new video. I've already fucking seen it. And no, this is not a D-list reporter. Are you kidding me? This is like BBC's official U.S. correspondent. One, it's a terms of service violation to show like a straight up dead guy. Okay. 2, what? Trump wasn't hit by a bullet? Who is this person? Capitol Hill reporter for Axios. Glass fragments, not a bullet, hit Trump, a source familiar tells me. Oh my God. Deleted Biden tweet on the assassination. Okay. Good one. Glass fragment, not a bullet, hit Trump, a source familiar tells me. This is from an Axios reporter, so it's definitely more reliable than eyewitness testimony.
Muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle.
Doohickey? No, it could be glass from the teleprompter. It could be glass shards from a teleprompter. They have he has teleprompters in front of him. They might even have fucking barriers. I don't know. It's just
around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but,
sure. But
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I've informed Twitch that the servers are fucking up.
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is,
they know they're on it. They're paying close attention.
Considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not at every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions, I think, that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth.
Is it EU chatters that are effing?
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
But what's significant?
Instant Cope, hate on the blue collar guy, buy the teleprompter bullshit. Instant Cope, brother, this is a fucking Axios reporter, and not some random fucking guy. An Axios reporter asking for details is a little bit, has more veracity than random guy. I'm not saying he's wrong. Why are you making this about fucking blue collar people? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Well, we're keeping our minds open too.
And Tom, you and your team certainly have a huge depth of experience. And
eyewitness testimony, especially in a chaotic situation like this, is notoriously unreliable. All I'm saying is remember that when you are listening to people talk about what they saw. Okay. Also, what his testimony is does not contradict a possible glass shard.
Background, the FBI would be able to instant fingerprint him at the scene. They would be able to get information, and either that way they'd look into facial recognition to see if they could identify him in any sort of government database. From there, you might know where the individual lives, any relatives. They will comb through every inch and ounce of his social media. They will have the ability to go to social media companies and ask for an emergency warrant, and they will most certainly be granted to get access to those communications, cell phone communications, text communications.
Tom?
All of that will be part of the instant investigation.
I apologize to ask you a question, then I have to interrupt you, but we are getting some confirmation. The Butler County DA is now telling us that one spectator has died in this incident. One has been apparently wounded and is in critical condition, and the shooter, as Tom has been reporting, is dead. So to repeat that news, and this comes via the Butler County DA, one spectator at this Trump rally is dead. Another is in critical condition, and the shooter, what we believe right now at this hour, the lone shooter is also dead.
And whether you're on mobile or desktop.
Tom Winter was reporting, they will work very quickly and work backwards, and will likely know a lot about this individual in a short amount of time. You see former President Trump trying to acknowledge the crowd while being obviously stunned and being led to the safety of an armored vehicle, but it appears that he is okay, suffering what we've all been able to see, some sort of a graze-type wound to his ear. We hear him, asking for his shoes. He is led away. He continues to turn toward the crowd to offer a sense of assurance that he is okay. He is now clear of that scene as people continue to leave, all of them telling stories of hearing these pops. Some of them, one woman we had on was able to describe the shooter. Now that we've got that confirmed, her account certainly jibes with what we're getting now from the officials in Butler County, Pennsylvania. And that is the crowd here trying to rally their.
This literally only happens to me, by the way. It never happens to anybody else. Just me. I don't know why. I'm the only motherfucker who gets like these kinds of
sounded like
issues.
Shots, pops.
Whenever this happened on January 6th,
gunshots,
it literally, anytime there's some shit happening.
As he was looking to the right, and a little unclear, he grabs his ear, and then you can see this team of Secret Service agents quickly swarm him.
Kai will have like 600,000 people watching him with no interruption.
The risk nullified, and then he is escorted to his vehicle and to safety.
eBay had 3.8 million people watching him with no interruptions.
Pictures where you see the police crime tape, and they will treat it as any other crime scene and try to get the details of this. We don't know what this means in terms of the exact injury that former President Trump received, what treatment he may be receiving, what this will do to his ability to campaign. We certainly, of course, expect to see him in this coming week as the Republican National Convention is about to begin on Monday in Milwaukee. So RNC officials certainly trying to figure that out. But right now, the greatest concern is from that angle is the health of the former president. And of course, thoughts also turning now to the one spectator who was killed in this, another spectator who was in critical condition from a wound sustained during all this. NBC's Dasha Burns is just outside that Trump rally north of Pittsburgh. She has been giving us plenty of updates here. Dasha, as you've heard, we've now been able to confirm that at least one spectator has been killed in this, and the shooter himself is dead.
Lester, just for those who are joining us in this moment, just a reminder that our team, we were in the press pen when this happened.
The Twitch team is aware of the problem and they're working on the fucking issue.
The former president started to speak just a few minutes into his speech. This transpired. We ran for cover as we were trying to figure out what exactly had happened, initially thinking it was fireworks, then realizing it could be something more serious. And now, of course, we know deadly. I am in the parking lot right now, just outside of this venue. This is where press and general attendees have had their cars parked. This is where we evacuated to when we were told to leave the site. That is now a crime scene, and I've been running into witnesses here as people have been trying to find their cars, trying to make their way out. And that is where I ran into a man named Joseph, and I want to introduce him to you now. And as we just learned, Joseph, you weren't listening to the program here, but Lester Holt, NBC News, just reporting that one of the attendees has deceased, has died from injuries as a result of the shooting. Joseph, you told me off camera that you may have witnessed this, and I'm so sorry to be talking to you in this tragic moment, but can you describe what it is that you saw?
I was attending the rally. I was in the set of bleachers, the very far left of the podium where President Trump was speaking. I was there with friends. I heard several gunshots. The man beside me suffered a gunshot wound to the head, was instantly killed, fell to the bottom of the bleachers. Another woman looked like she got hit in the forearm or hand. And then at that point in time, it was rather chaotic at that point because half the people were looking because they thought it was fireworks. I knew it was gunshots right away. My friend, he hit the deck. I was kind of looking around just trying to see where the shots were coming from. It seemed to me like the shots were coming from behind the bleachers. It seemed to me the man got hit in the head from behind. He was killed instantly, as far as I could tell. And at that point, a state police and a SWAT team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying him?
He's deceased. He died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. It wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, it's a police ranger. They put a towel over his head and then carried him off.
And you said there was another woman nearby who was also injured. Where was she in relation to him?
I believe she was in the bleachers, like either above me or just to the side of him. But it seemed like she was kind of at my flank, and then she flinched, and it looked like she had taken a gunshot wound to the forearm and hand.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard multiple gunshots, 8 to 11 shots. We've been hearing it replayed on the video here. Do you remember, can you tell, I know it was a chaotic scene, but at what point, was it immediately when you heard the gunshots that he was shot, or was it later on into the firing?
The first 7, he was hit and she was hit within the first 7 shots. I counted 7 shots.
What was going through your mind? You were right there. I know it happened so quickly, but what can you tell us about those moments?
First, I was in shock because I know what gunshots sound like, so I knew they were gunshots.
I know it's only my stream on Twitch. I know no one else is having these issues. I know. I'm aware. Twitch is aware as well. Okay? They're working on a fix. I don't know why this always happens to just me, but
I counted the first 7. They were very loud and very close.
It is what it fucking is.
And it killed one man and wounded another woman.
And Joseph, you told me that you're a doctor, you're an OBGYN. How did that background play into how quickly you were sort of able to assess the situation and know what happened to these individuals and know what was going on?
Well, I told the police, I tried to render assistance. I told the police I could render assistance. They had another physician on the EMT team, so they kind of took over.
Obama came out
so
with
they
a
weren't really
statement.
need me, so I kind of helped carry him down initially out of the bleachers.
Obama came out with a statement as well. There's absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy. Although we don't yet know what exactly happened, we should all be relieved that former President Trump wasn't seriously hurt and use this moment to recommit ourselves to civility and respect in our politics. Michelle and I are wishing him a quick recovery. Okay? Obama came out. I mean, every Democrat is going to say this, by the way, of course.
And what was their reaction?
I thought there was 5 people. 2 of them were relatively hysterical. So, but they were, when we took the man out of the bleachers, he went to the tent. There was an aid tent or some type of tent behind the bleachers where they took the body, and they immediately evacuated the family with them. And 2 out of the 5, it seemed, in shock, hysterical. Like they were still trying to process what was going on.
Joseph, from where I was standing,
the rooftop sniper video might be real. I'm not going to cover it until there's further confirmation. It is irresponsible of me to do so. Please understand. Okay? Yes, I am familiar of the potential rooftop sniper narrative. We listened to an eyewitness testimony from it. Okay? We listened to an eyewitness testimony saying that there was a sniper on a rooftop, potentially, like the rooftop of a container. Okay, because there's not a lot of like high roofs in this area. Okay. There is footage of a dude who's just like dead on top of a container. There's a picture on Reddit. I know I've also seen the footage of a person who's on top of a container. But until we have further confirmation, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna cover it.
Directly facing it. It seemed to me like the shots were coming from the rear, like behind us. And for me, it seemed like the man was in the way. Like, I guess.
in the way of the former president.
Thank you for the 10
It seemed like
subs.
the man was in the way of the shots between whoever was shooting the gun and the president. The man was hit. It seemed like he was in the crossfire.
And I know, you're in shock and still processing all of this. It's sort of hard to evaluate our own emotions in this moment.
This
but
is official.
you just experienced
Philip
something
Lewis,
horrific.
Deputy editor of the Huffington Post says law enforcement officials say shooting at Trump rallies being investigated as attempted assassination of former president. So they are officially investigating it as an attempted assassination. Okay. A couple things that people will do, by the way. A lot of the Republicans who love talking repeatedly about doing political violence. Okay, I have 2 options. I either wait, I fix the issue on the server I'm transcoding to, or I stop the stream and restart. And I'm not going to stop the stream and restart. I'm hoping that in 10 to 20 minutes, the Fs will go away. Okay? Hopefully in 10 and not 20. There will be no more issues. Many of you can still watch the stream anyway, but Twitch is aware of the problem and they're working to fix it.
There were some cheers, and then people sort of remained, those that weren't in sort of the immediate zone where you were, people were still sort of cheering.
What else would they have investigated this as? It could be any number of different things. Obviously, you have to rule out all the possibilities before you come out with a statement like that. People fighting in the fucking crowd or some shit. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but like, obviously, investigators have to look at every avenue and every angle. Just like when people earlier were talking about like, oh, this is a Democrat probably or something like that. Like, you ultimately don't know. Former presidents have a shit ton of enemies. You know what I mean?
That this was in fact a dangerous and deadly situation.
Oh, it was a dangerous and deadly situation. The problem is it's a large crowd. And when the gunshots went off, I think they were, again, my sense was they were being shot from behind, so they sounded a bit muffled. So it sounded more like a firecracker going off. So I think the initial reaction from the people around me were like, okay, well, someone brought fireworks. I just knew better. I know what gunshots sound like. And, when I saw the guy took a gunshot wound to the head, and I saw the woman who got hit in the forearm and the hand, I just knew that it wasn't fireworks. I mean, it wasn't fireworks initially, but I think the majority of the crowd didn't understand that it was gun.
This gives more veracity to the claims that the shooter was outside of the rally. Law enforcement officials say shooter was outside Trump rally and was killed by U.S. Secret Service. Biden is releasing a statement Immediate release. I've been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who were at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. I'm shocked that he's not going to come out with like a full-blown statement, possibly live.
This is from President Biden, who is in Rehoboth, and he talks about this incident. He begins by saying, I've been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who are at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. The words of Joe Biden after learning about this incident involving his predecessor and his current rival in the political environment of this 2024 campaign. The president has been briefed by top officials. He has been talking with Homeland Security officials, and he is at his home in Rehoboth, Delaware, where he has a full complement of the things needed for the office, where he can get the income streams of all the relevant information. This first statement coming from President Biden, I would not be at all surprised if we don't hear more from him tonight as new developments.
By the way, we're joking about like, oh, Biden did this. Biden, is responsible for this. While we joke about Biden being responsible for this, Republicans are not joking about Biden being responsible for this. Officially, Mike Collins, GA, says Joe Biden sent the orders. Republicans are going to very seriously start saying Joe Biden's rhetoric around Donald Trump. And Republican media is going to immediately rush to say Joe Biden's rhetoric around Donald Trump and the media's rhetoric around Donald Trump is responsible for this. Okay, so get ready for that as well. Gear up for that. Depending on the background of the shooter, the narrative is going to change to if it's like someone even remotely Hispanic, it's so Jover. They're going to say illegal immigrant across the board. If it's a Muslim person, if it's anyone with like any kind of Muslim background, it's so Jover. Muslim ban last time around will look like a joke, okay, in comparison to what's going to happen. I'm just telling you the narratives that are going to occur in the upcoming days. Yeah, I saw the Axios reporter. I covered that.
Even sure they were gunshots. But then we heard like 3 or 4 shots, and then we heard shots kind of returned. A friend of mine videotaped that, and we just watched that, and that's what we saw and what we heard.
From your vantage point, were you able to see where the shots were coming from? Was it obvious?
It was not, but you could hear them, and as soon as you heard the shots, your head turned towards the left. We have a route that runs outside the Butler Farm Show, Route 68, and it sounded like the shots were coming from out there near the field to the left-hand side of where we were. So it certainly was scary.
You know, we look at the videotape, and it appears some people didn't quite realize what was happening at the moment. Were you one of them who was not quite sure what you were witnessing?
It's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something,
absolutely, and again, until I was
Joe Wheeler 24, thank you for the 5-2 gift subs.
Like,
a bullet takes 0 off, has to be glass damage.
We're pulling us down and saying you have to get down. So,
developing Butler police report. Mark Viles the shooter. Viles appears to be a member of Antifa.
Have you been to one of these rallies before?
From One America News Network.
I have not. It was my first time at a rally, and I was certainly excited, to go to one. We had so many people there. But I can tell you the chaos that this.
A member of
Antifa.
Antifa.
Everyone was scared. you know, you see the former president and what's happening, and you know, and then when I ascertained what had happened from my Pennsylvania.
Antifa is not an organization, okay?
It was very
It just
scary.
means anti-fascism.
That they got the shooter, but that really doesn't make a difference because it was just scary.
Yeah, that's our understanding is the shooter is deceased. And,
Card-carrying member.
One of the spectators as well, and one critically hurt, a spectator, and the former president is going to be okay. But you bring up a point. I think we
Biden
all
will
be
address the
talking
nation.
about
Yeah,
it,
okay.
and that
Rehoboth
is, of course,
Beach. Biden to deliver remarks to the nation after apparent assassination on Trump.
It certainly comes at a
Biden
time
is
that we're
going to
all
do.
keenly
Biden is going to
aware
do
of the deep divisions and the risk of
an address to the nation. He's going to obviously say like political violence is completely unacceptable. Yada yada yada. We're going to beat Donald Trump in the race.
To be honest with you, no.
Is it safe to show the video of this? Pretty sure the person in the bowl hat behind Trump is shot dead. Check Twitter. What?
In the country, but in no way.
Brother, there is no gore here in front of your eyes, okay? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's not only political, but you know, there are innocent people here, and look what happened, and it should just never happen.
Hopefully, he doesn't flub the names.
Your point is certainly well taken. I know you're with the DA.
Mark Voss, the made-up identity for a Moroccan Italian guy who's live tweeting right now that it wasn't him. He'd made up anti-Trump videos on Twitter in the past, but yeah, it's not him.
Well, I know that I'm seeing a lot of news trucks around here. I know that there were tons of Secret Service here. And again, I guess for me, I just question how it, you know, somebody got through security, or where this person was in a field that somebody wasn't looking after them. And I guess that's just me and from my perspective of what I do.
Yeah. All right, Terry, thank you very much. As we continue to look at some of the pictures of the aftermath, we've shown you some of the still photos as well of people crouched down for safety, not sure at that moment where the threat was coming from. I want to tell you, we are hearing that we will hear from the president. We read his statement a few minutes ago. We will hear from President Biden at some point this evening. We don't have a firm time on that, but we'll keep you honest and let you know when we know more about that. In the meantime, let me bring in our senior Washington correspondent, Hallie Jackson. Hallie, you know, we're all shocked and certainly saddened over the loss of life here and the injuries, and we're certainly grateful that the former president is okay.
Biden told donors on a private call this afternoon
this
it's
is
time
going
to put
be
Trump
a
in the
very
bullseye.
tough conversation of the weeks coming forward.
Yeah, they're running with like Biden in a closed door meeting telling donors it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. They're gonna run with that. They're going to run with that as though it's like Biden calling a fucking assassination on Donald Trump.
That's a little bit old. That chart's a couple of months old. And
hold on, I'm checking this video to see if I can watch this. Whoa. This is definitely an angle that I had not seen.
I watched the snipers lay down.
Okay, it doesn't show anything new though.
Matt Dixon, a top campaign official, is telling staff members that everything is okay, that we have no details to share at this time, but saying they'll follow up soon with more information. They are directing staff members to not speak with members of the media. They want what they describe as a total lockdown here. They add that your personal safety is of the utmost importance here. To pray, remain vigilant, and be strong. That is the messaging now.
They're dropping all of the fucking campaign ads. They're pausing all campaign ads and all outbound communication, and we're going to pull down our television ads as quickly as possible. They probably want to review the copy. I suspect they want to review the copy. It doesn't mean that he's stepping down. I suspect that they want to review the copy to make sure that there is no there's no like sentiments in the fucking ad that could be pointed back to him or something as like calling for violence. That could be one reason. It could be because he's stepping down. Probably not. I don't know. But they're probably going to look to clean up all of the insightful language before the Republicans pick up on it and start seizing on that opportunity to say Biden is actually trying to kill the president. You know, I'm letting you know. I work for a political ads agency. All our stuff was told to be paused. Yeah. They're going to say right now, in this very moment, now that this happened, people are going to be looking to use this as an opportunity to blame their political opponents. They're going to turn around and say, like, oh, remember that Hassan guy? He serves 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. And that's really fucked up. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, even though it's like a simple fix. You know what I mean? For $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get 1 free Prime subscription a month. It's really fucked up. Thanks, Supreme Court, for legal assassination. True. Thank a Supreme Court justice today if you have the opportunity. Anyway, you can also get gifted a sub. If you're lucky, here's a 3-minute ad break now. Really, bro? Profiting off of death? First of all, I'm a fucking news commentator. What are you talking about? Also, Trump didn't die, dumbass. I just spoke to Donald Trump Jr. tells ABC News he's spoken to his father, who remains at the hospital. Don Jr. said his father is in good spirits as he remains under observation, adding that his father is never going to stop. Meanwhile, chatter's acting like they killed him. They're like, wow, I can't believe they killed Donald Trump. I know bystanders died, assholes. I know, but that person is not talking about that. It's also a really bad look if the coverage of your political opponent's assassination attempt gets interrupted by your ad. Yeah, that's probably another reason. Yeah. The only thing that... the thing that died today wasn't Donald Trump, but it was Biden's re-election chances. That's who died today, okay?
On the eve of the Republican National Convention, former President Trump, his campaign apparatus, Republicans all over the country poised to go to Milwaukee to officially nominate former President Trump as their party's nominee. And as Hallie was just saying, we anticipated and we were working on trying to determine who the former president would pick to serve as his vice presidential nominee. And now, of course, the focus has shifted to this horrifying topic of political violence and what this country needs to do to prevent something like this from happening again, Lester.
All right, Kristen Welker. Kristen, thanks very much. Let me reset here for our viewers just joining us on this Saturday evening. We are on the air with breaking news. There has been a shooting at Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally this evening. The former president has been injured. How he was injured is not clear at this time. I want to pause here. We're going to roll the video of what happened just shortly after 6 p.m. here in the East while Mr. Trump was speaking. Here it is.
A bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Moving to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Moving to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready. You ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're good to move. We're clear. Let's move. We're clear. Come on. Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head, bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Move to the bus.
Let me get my shoes.
Okay. My shoes down.
Watch out.
I want to bring in now Evie Pouris, a former Secret Service agent. We thank you for joining us again. We hear at one point, I didn't hear this in the earlier recordings, we hear at one point one of the tactical clothed individuals say the shooter is down. As you watch that unfold, I take it they were not prepared to move him until they knew where the threat was.
Yes, you can hear that clear line of communication, and the communication is very clear and succinct. Can we move? Are we clear? You hear shooters down, and you hear, are we clear to move? Clear to move. So you're hearing them speak to one another. And radio communication is one of the most important things.
It's wild that he was
Actually,
looking for his
when it
fucking
comes
shoes,
to comms,
dude.
you always want to say less. You can hear them using very simple words, 3, 4 words. They just want to keep those airwaves clear so that the most important vital communication
Trump rally shooters
can
identifies
pass.
32-year-old
So
California
they're
resident
making
Hank
sure
Pecker.
they hunker
Oh,
down.
God.
You see them
Okay,
surround
let's
him.
not
He
make
goes
these
down
sorts
to the
of
ground.
jokes.
They all surround him. Again, when you're an agent, you're supposed to be a human shield. And in that moment, that is what they become. They become human shield. Your job in that moment is to protect your protectee, whoever that protectee is. So they all encompass him. And the other thing you do, you are designed to actually make yourself as big as possible to make sure that any potential rounds or shots that come, you don't want them to miss you and hit your protectee. So as they're hunkered down, they're locking him down. And if you look at the shot, actually, there's a shot where you can see the front of the stage, and around it, you'll see that design, that almost like a smaller, like a design barrier. It's got the flag around it. That typically, and I can't say whether it is or is not in this case, but in some scenarios, when you work as a side agent, you will pick a barricade that's actually something strong and sturdy. It could be concrete or steel. Usually it's some type of steel, and that is used for that when something does happen, unfortunately, like we're seeing here, they can actually get down to the ground so that they have some type of cover.
Evie, thanks. Really important information we're learning from you. I want to let folks know we believe moments away from hearing President Biden. He is going to stand at that podium, and we believe this is in Delaware. Somebody can confirm for me. But he will address the nation about these events tonight in Florida. The shooting that apparently wounded former President Trump, who is said to be okay. It killed a spectator, wounded another who's in critical condition. The shooter, who has not been identified, we know nothing about that person's background or what might have motivated him. That shooter is said to be deceased as well. This story has been rolling out, and here is the president.
Thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government.
Damn, that was quick.
Based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to him shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that the people who, and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is, the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well.
They're going to say he's not calling him the president.
He's doing well.
As former presidents are normally called.
Two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to him tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Mr. President, do you think there was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any
answer
facts.
questions, Joe.
So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make.
Don't answer questions. Don't do it.
President, was the security failing
the president stopping short of calling this an assassination attempt, but noting that he plans to talk to Donald Trump and that his understanding is the former president is doing well. President Biden speaking out against the scourge of political violence, saying there's no room for this.
He almost fucked it up.
And as we had reported a few moments ago, the Biden campaign moving to take down its advertising, a pause in its political advertising in the wake of this. We know that the president couldn't confirm, but we have confirmed that at least 2 spectators were shot, 1 killed, another who is in critical condition, and again, the shooter, who we don't know a lot about right now, is also deceased. Let me go back to Kristen Welker in our Washington, D.C. bureau. The White House getting out in front of this very quickly, Kristen.
Lester, they sure are, and President Biden condemning this in the strongest terms possible, which is what you would anticipated. He has long condemned.
You think Trump will talk to him? Probably
violence.
not.
He said this is unheard of.
If I'm Trump, I ain't talking to him. This is my moment in the fucking spotlight, dude. You kidding me? Give him a fucking layup to make it seem like he's conciliatory and defending him and shit? Fuck no. I'm fucking coming out of the gate swinging, dude. The man who threw up a fist after he got fucking shot? Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's going to use this momentum. Would they admit if Secret Service shot the wrong people? Yes. It will inevitably come out because people died. So crazy that the photographers gave no shot, gave no shit, try to get the best possible photo. Of course, this is the job of the media. Dude, I cover gruesome things on a daily fucking basis. Like, I think most journalists that have been in a situation, been conflict reporters and whatnot, this is their opportunity. They have complete fucking, they're locked in. That's the whole point. That's their job.
Will be quite strong, quite large.
They do it in way worse situations than this one too.
The convention is taking place will undoubtedly require going through magnetiles, making sure that no one is armed going into that event. But again, Lester, this just underscores, I think, that something fundamental has really shifted in our American politics today.
Yeah, it's certainly, the threat has been talked about, but to see it play out on this scale is certainly horrifying. Kristen, thank you for that. We'll go back to you in a bit. Let's bring in our senior Washington correspondent, Hallie Jackson. You have a statement from Donald Trump Jr., the former president's son.
Yeah, via a spokesperson to our colleague Peter Nicholas, that listen, you heard President Biden say he tried to reach former President Trump on the phone. We know that the former president's son has spoken with him in a statement saying they just talked on the phone, with Donald Trump Jr. saying that his dad is in great spirits, that he will never stop fighting to save America, no matter what in Donald Trump Jr.'s words, no matter what the radical left throws at him. So what we can glean from this, a couple of things, that former President Trump is, as his campaign says, fine. He is well enough to speak. He is well enough to be on the phone, at least with his immediate family members, at least with his son, Donald Trump Jr. We know that
Bolsonaro suffered a knife attack back in 2018 and went straight to win the Brazilian presidency.
Of course, in Butler, Pennsylvania. And we know that there has been a slew of reaction, as Kristen, as you, as others have talked about from both sides of the aisle here, strongly condemning political violence after this very
I mean, the teleprompter does look intact. I don't know. I don't know how it could have been potentially a...
Hallie, thank you. Kip Tom,
it could have been potentially glass.
Ambassador to
we'll find out more about it
in
a little bit.
From the former president when the shots rang out. Thank you for joining us, sir. Can you tell us what you saw?
Well, I was just with the president a few moments earlier before he came on stage, and everything seemed like a normal day. But when he walked down that red carpet and walked up to the podium, and after he spoke for about 10 minutes, I was sitting in the front row at the end of the runway. But
surviving an attempted political assassination, surviving an attempted assassination is usually pretty fucking good for your chances of election.
And obviously, there was a person.
I can't really think of anyone that's like
that was
survived the political assassination and like not ended up winning, like a legitimate one.
Stayed pretty calm for the most part. And but you know, it sounded like there was 6-7 shots to start with, and then it seemed like there was a little pause, and then we heard a different caliber gun fired, which I assume is probably the Secret Service. But then I thought I heard another couple of rounds come off, but it felt like it was behind me. But it could have been the echo.
Did you hear did President Trump say anything?
No, he was just giving the typical rally speech that he typically does everywhere, you know, and trying to encourage voters to get out and vote. And talking about his plan for America.
But as the shots rang out, did you hear? Did he cry out? Did someone tell him to get down, or was that instinctive?
Yeah, we heard that. We heard everybody say get down, but I think he was already going down. That's when everybody thought at first maybe he had been hit more severely than he was. I mean, it's already severe. And let's face it, it hit his ear. It could have been a little bit closer.
Keemstar tweeted about you. Dude, are you fucking stupid? The former president got shot. If you're literally looking at drama alert right now to see like what they will turn this narrative into and how they'll somehow make this about me, you have to be the most delusional person on the planet. Like, what are you Keemstar? He's a fucking idiot, dude. What do you mean? Like, yeah, dude, I know. I can't believe that like right-wing charlatans and idiots will be like, oh, somehow the former president got shot. Let's make this about motherfucking Hassan. You have to be literally the dumbest person on the planet. You have to be such a fucking gross loser to do such a thing. To be like, oh, let's cancel Hassan now. Like, suck my dick, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here. Obsessive loser.
Those and thinking about those and then moving forward to where we're at today. And we still have a problem with this. So it's shocking.
You gotta have real brain
most
rot
people,
in this situation.
Are pretty upset. There's no question about it.
Understandably. Ambassador, thank you so much for taking the time being with us. We're glad you and yours are safe after this tonight. Retired ATF Special Agent Jim Cavanaugh is with me. By now, as you know, we've been reporting that the shooter in this case is deceased, presumably shot by law enforcement. I think the next question will be, is this a lone operator, the proverbial lone wolf, or is this part of some kind of conspiracy? Those are two different things. How will they begin to get, at least put the dots together?
Yeah, well, let's start with the deceased shooter, Lester, and identify him, and then
Libs of TikTok posted a photo of you saying you were the shooter, then deleted it. I swear on everything I have. It might be Chuds of TikTok that jokingly said I was the shooter.
Start interviewing around the circle around him.
Luckily, I have a fucking alibi, as in I was here when it happened. We were literally before NBC News on the story. That's how fucking crazy this chat is. That there were still some freaks watching this fucking rally while we weren't even watching it, and immediately informed me before NBC News even got to it.
From a confirmed source that the shooter was actually firing from outside the perimeter.
Yeah, you guys can
that
join.
changes a lot in terms of
you can't say anything unhinged right now though, because there's a lot of haters out and about looking to fucking somehow turn this on me or some shit.